News Radio 700 WLW.
All right, it is called Fun Employment. Fun Employment. What the hell is that? Now, Julie is off today. She's at some big conference. Normally, Julie Bauke, our career Sherpa on the show. We talk careers every this time. Pinch hitting for her today is Michael Lin. Michael's a leadership coach, CoachMichaelLin, LIN.com. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. So this is a new term. I've heard about quiet quitting and all these other things. New grads, and these would be Gen Zers coming out of school now, are coining it fun employment. What the hell does that mean? Now what do I got to do that's different?
Very good question. Okay. As I travel all over America teaching leadership seminars, I tell my students, okay, the only way to talk about leadership is by being honest, by being frank, because the truth is going to set you free. Okay? Mm-hmm. So let's be honest. Let's give an honest assessment about people with this sort of mindset. Fun employment. Okay? Here, this article we're talking to, it starts with these younger people. They look at their parents and then they say, what did all the hard work get them? That's my parents. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, the
Makes
answer
sense.
is all that hard work that your parents put into, it got them your current luxurious, happy lifestyle.
I guess I get that. You look at all the work that mom and dad put in, and it seems like they're working all the time. But the old adage, at least, you know, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. So if you really like what you do for a living in your career, then I guess it's warranted. And now you're saying Gen Zers look at exact opposites. No, I just want to enjoy life, and I don't want to live to work. I want to work to live. Which is it's admirable, but Gen Zers also like stuff. When they have to start paying for stuff themselves, does that narrative change, Michael?
Yes, yes. This is okay. Let's be honest. Okay, this is what's going on in their mind. Oh, but by the way, not every young person thinks like this.
No,
not all of them are like that. No. And many people of their age have perfect work ethic. And they want to develop themselves, and they know whatever it is they want, be it a $1,000 cell phone or a family with a house, with a successful career, whatever it is they want. It's going to take some effort on their part. There are plenty young people like that. And I teach managers how to expand their search area and how to put the right wording for their job advertisement to attract these sort of applicants, and how to interview them and filter out who is here to work and who is here to have fun. Now, let's get back to those who demand to come to work and have fun. Okay, this is their mindset. Mm-hmm. And once you understand their mindset, you're going to realize you really shouldn't be hiring them. Their mindset is, you know, my parents worked hard, okay, and got me my current lifestyle, and I don't even appreciate my parents. That's their mindset.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to be responsible for their own lives, and they don't want to be a contributing member to society. Yet they demand money without giving any work. And then worse than that, they want to take up a position in the company that coulda, woulda, shoulda be given to somebody who is willing to earn and learn. They want to take up the position, not doing any work, get paid, and then demand to be entertained by the employer, by the co-workers. Is that fair to the other co-workers? We're here to do the work. We have to do our extra work. Your work, we have to do it, and we have to keep you entertained. That's not fair, is it?
Or you feel like, you know, showing up when you want to work. When you want to work, you show up. If you got something better to do, you won't show up to work, and now it's inconsistent. But, Michael Lin, is this just the product of a good economy, that we need workers? We're in a worker shortage still. Unemployment rates are still incredible, right? We need bodies to do jobs, and so therefore now employers have to tolerate stuff, and the timing comes out of this, too, as a generation that's been coddled, let's call it what it is, that parents have done everything for them, and you know, everything from structuring play dates, whatever the hell hell that is, and I get it. But, you know, it used to be just get the hell out of the house and go hang out with your friends and play, and now everything's got to be scheduled. And this generation is used to mom and dad being super proactive in managing every aspect of their life, and that translates into adulthood, too. So we have those two things coming together. Is that what this is?
It is with a lot of people in this age group, but not all of them. Certainly not all of them.
They're not monolithic. Okay? I get it. Yeah.
Right. The way they, okay, we need to be clear about their mindset. Okay. Let's just say we get on a cruise ship. Okay. Passengers pay to get on a cruise ship to be entertained. The crew on a cruise ship, sailing the ship, cleaning the ship, doing the cooking, and entertaining the passengers for pay.
Mm-hmm.
So these younger people, they want to be the passenger on a cruise ship, but instead of paying a huge fee for the entertainment, they demand to get paid.
I think I get the analogy. It makes sense, right? It's like there are people who are paid to entertain you. That's not you have to show up and do the job. Sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes it's dirty but I guess maybe the concept here is paying your dues, right? And we often hear that right. Paying your dues has gone out of style, that you don't start at the bottom and work your way up and learn as much as you can. And the more you put in, the more you get out. We just expect to show up and have it given to us. Is that and it's always kind of been that way, that the next generation coming to work has to change to fit the current generation. You know, I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm caught in that group that's caught between baby boomers and millennials and the two big cohorts there. And I heard from my generation, MTV's riding your brain and you're going to be horrible. You know, and we heard the stories as people get into the workforce for the first time. Is this anything different, Michael, than what we've seen with previous generations? Because there's always outliers, there's always slackers, and there's always overperformers. Is this anything new?
Yes and no. Okay. If you compare to 1950, yes, this is new. And a lot of this is caused by America's success over the Soviet Union. Since we defeated the Soviet Union, we became complacent. Mm-hmm. And we no longer teach the value of, work. But if you look back human history, 5,000 years all over the world, this is nothing new. How did the Roman Empire fall apart? Okay. How did why China was dynasty after dynasty repeating itself? It's the same thing.
Yep.
The hardworking people built a nice society, and then younger generation became complacent, and 300 years later, the dynasty fall apart. Mm-hmm. So the way to deal with this, okay, from individual with this sort of thinking to the whole generation, okay, the key here is don't be an enabler, okay? If you bring them to your work, give them a position and salary, and then you entertain them while they do no work, you're not helping them.
Yes.
You are not helping them, okay? The only way to help them to realize is to send them to the school of hard knocks. By having them having no income, then they may realize, if you really want to help them, if you really want to save them,
yes,
then let them realize they need to put in the effort in exchange for income, for food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then they'll figure it out, right? Is it? And I think my fear, the wake-up call is going to be Michael Lin. By the way, Michael Lin is a career coach, too, leadership coach, CoachMichaelLin, LIN.com. Pinch hitting for Julie Bauke. She's got the day off today as we talk careers every Wednesday here on the Scott Sloan Show on 7 WLW. And I look at younger people and older people in the workplace. It's supposed to be confusing and the like, but you still at the end of the day have to pay your dues. The big concern is going to be, though, that when the big R hits, and I'm talking about a recession, when the economy goes south, and always what goes up must come down, Michael. These younger people, I think the Gen Zers that we're talking about here with the fun employment and dictating the terms of their employment, I think they're in for a rude awakening and in a frightening wake-up call pretty later in life. Not that in your 20s is late in life, but man, to learn accountability, responsibility, and to get stuff you have to work for, to learn that lesson in your 20s or 30s, that's pretty frightening.
better late than never.
I suppose. Yeah, sure.
There's an old Chinese proverb story about a peasant. He lost a couple of sheep. They escaped. There's a hole in the pan, and then he was feeling sorry about it. And his neighbor said, "Why don't you just repair that hole so it won't happen again?"
Right.
So it's better they realize this at the age of 30 than the age of 40, than the age of 50, than the age of 60. So by hiring them, by pampering to them, by supplicating to them, you're now helping them. You're harming them. You're also creating the greatest social injustice, because when you have them in your office, they are going to create a toxic work environment. And all the other employees are going to be up in their arms. Like, why do I have to supplicate to this, whatever, just creating drama all the time? Or why do I have to entertain her? I'm here to work. Make sense?
It does, but I see the other way, too, is we have set that expectation bar that stereotypical, but that we should cater to this generation. We should cater to them and their feelings, everything, all this stuff matters. And when they get to a workplace and I'm an older guy and go, this is stupid. You got to work. If you want to eat, you got to work and you got to show up and do your job. And, there's going to be a learning period. And it's going to be uncomfortable and you may be treated a little bit differently, but I don't really care about your feeling. We got work to do here. And the bottom line is the bottom line. We got to put numbers up. I just wondered if I'm looked at as a legacy worker, as if I'm the one that's quote unquote out of touch and a problem, and then HR is involved and it's a nightmare. That could be a problem the other way too, can it?
Yeah, catering to them is how we got ourselves into trouble. And who says we have to cater to them? They do. They did.
Right.
What they've been doing, okay, is temper tantrums. If you don't cater to me, I'm just going to throw temper tantrums at you.
Sure.
Then why don't you go back to throw temper tantrums at your parents? Okay? Not here.
But wait, Michael. Now here's the problem is, though. Now they go cry to HR. The HR people, those very unhappy, miserable souls. And I know some HR people too. It's like what a horror. But now I got to worry about an HR investigation.
That's why you should have not hired them in the first place, and you should work with your HR to not tolerate these kind of people who create toxic work environments for your office. Okay, I'll give you an example about hiring. Okay, I know a girl in Phoenix, and she's a pharmaceutical rep, and she tells me, Dr. So-and-so here in town, he hires and fires a new receptionist every week. And then she went on to say that doctor advertises free lunch every day. It's her, the pharmaceutical rep, she's the one bringing the lunch. Okay? And I said to her, there you go. The doctor has nobody else but himself to blame. Why did he advertise free lunch every day? Even though that is true, but he should not have advertised it.
Yeah.
He should have advertised, here is an opportunity for someone who wants to learn to develop a career in the medical field. We provide this and that kind of growth opportunity. So here we have two candidates. Candidate number one, she wants to learn, she wants to improve. She looks at the ad and she goes, learning. Yeah, that's for me. Yeah, I want to learn. What? Free lunch every day? Who am I going to be working with? Well, I'm going to be working with fine employment. They're going to get in my way out of my career. I don't want to work with it, so I'm not applying there. But on the other hand, okay, the candidate who is thinking about free lunch every day and fine employment, she's going to be applying for the ad that says free lunch every day. And she look at the other ad and says, here's offers a growth opportunity, learn this and learn that, work with this kind of doctor, that kind of doctor. You go like, what? Work? Not for me.
Yeah. I think it'll figure itself. All right. I don't want to paint an entire, because my generation was, I don't know how you are, but we all get the monolithic group, and this is how the Gen Xers are terrible, and millennials, now it's Gen Zers and the like. And there's going to be some ones who are incredibly hardworking, and there's going to be some that really don't like that and expect to show up, but that's not true exclusive to this generation. It may feel that way, but generally, I think there may be more more of them for that matter too, but it doesn't represent like the whole cohort. And what'll happen is we'll have a down cycle in the economy, and these people are going to sink or swim, or they're going to be the folks that are 45, 50 years old and still living with mom, because that's what you're destined for if you are a snowplow parent. And no one has the book on how to parent correctly and raise your kids, but I do know through experience that if you are the snowplow parent and you take all the obstruction out of the way and prevent any obstacle from what you deem as their success, whether it's in grade school or coaching, when you're yelling at coaches because they're not getting enough time because you think they're the second coming of Pete Rose when they're not. Guess what? This is what happens when they eventually graduate college, and you can't snowplow for them anymore. Eventually going to have to figure it out.
Correct.
Yep.
It's like teaching them how to ride a bicycle. You hold on, you hold on, you hold on. You got to let go. You got to let go.
Yeah, I think the parenting style is like just slow. It's like boiling a frog, right? You got to turn the heat up, slowly make it more uncomfortable from the time they are born till the time they leave the nest to be self-sufficient adults. I think that's the best gift we can give kids, is to teach them to be responsible, contributing, wholesome people in real life, regardless of education, all that other stuff that just gets in the way. But just being able to sustain your own life, because if it works out the way it should, we're not around that much longer, and our kids are the legacy, and they're going to have to teach their kids, or maybe not teach their kids because fewer are having them. But I think you know what I mean. Michael Lin is a career coach. Michael Lin, L-I-N, MichaelLin.com. And pinch hitting for Julie this morning. Michael, enjoyed it. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, be well. And Julie, I'm thinking back next week at some point.